Have you ever felt that no matter how many courses you buy, you will still feel very dismotivated to learn English? Because when you stop and try to study, your desire to learn English simply disappears. I'm here to tell you today that the problem isn't just studying, the problem is the habits that you are keeping in your life. Today, I want to show you 5 habits that are killing your motivation to learn English and how to fix this problem. Hello friends, welcome to Christian Productivity channel. I am Luciana Sampaio. Do you know that folder packed with English tips or those 10 PDFs with 100 most used phrases? Well, those things are collecting dust in your computer or in your cell phone. And this is a problem because this collecting habit is giving you the false sense of productivity. You think that you are being very productive, but you're not, because you're just accumulating things. Your brain releases dopamine because you found something useful, but since you don't apply it, the information turns into mental obesity. So after that, it creates a weight that you are carrying in your shoulders. Every time that you look the pile of the unread material, so this can also apply to things that you have physical, so the books that you buy to learn English, every time that you see that thing, you stop and think, I wasn't able to study that, so you start feeling guilty. And guilt is motivation's biggest enemy. Do you know how in the end of the year we just start cleaning up everything? At least for me, this brings a lot of peace. On the day that I wrote this script, before I wrote it, I opened the strange box under my bed and started cleaning up and trying to take off everything that I wasn't using anymore to throw in the trash. And when you do this, you know that you feel a peace that you can't even explain. It's something amazing. And you need to do this also with English. You need to try to open the storage box that you have for English and try to remove everything that are getting in your way to fluency. So the first thing you need to do is clean up. If having all that material is demotivating you, delete the PDFs and unfollow a bunch of profiles, keeping only 2 or 3 that you really like. Stop accumulating so much content and so much people to follow and to give you tips to learn English. Stop doing that, because when you do this cleanup, you will notice that you will feel in peace. You open YouTube and you notice that there's someone that is in your age and is a polyglot who can speak 10 languages or so. This person was able to learn very fast, and you start comparing yourself. You look at yourself and you think, I'll never get there because I am trying and I've been studying for months and for years and I have accomplished nothing. You are comparing your chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 20. You don't see the hours of frustration and mistakes. You can't see this because you are seeing the result, not the process. For example, you might compare your English to my English, but that's not right, because I am practicing my speaking for over 5 years. I started practicing by reading out loud in 2021 and we are in 2026. Why are you comparing yourself to me? That's not fair. Comparison is a topic we constantly have to revisit because we forget to monitor ourselves and fall back into the same cycle. We look at someone's life, envy what they have, think we'll never have it, keep watching them, envying and thinking we'll never have it. But that's not okay. That's not alright, because if you lose your time comparing yourself when you should be practicing, when you should be studying English, well, I already said, you're just losing your time. And here on the internet, the thing is that people always say to you that you need to stop comparing yourself to other person, but that's not possible. We naturally look at other people and we think, I should have this. I should have this because I deserve more. I don't know if you believe as I believe. I don't know if you understand this or if you think this, but I understand and I believe that I have a sinful nature. So I look at someone and I envy that person. This is not normal, but this is something that I do naturally, and this is not okay. How can you do this to fix this? You can't just say, okay, stop comparing yourself. No, we can't do this, okay? We need to do something else. That is control our thoughts. Every time you notice that you are falling again into that cycle of comparing yourself to other person, you need to stop. You need to make your brain understand that this is not okay. So how can you deal with comparison? Immediately stop the self-sabotaging thoughts and start comparing yourself to your past self. The only real benchmark is your progress. And you can do this by using different strategies, honestly. This means that you will try to use things to remember how you were a few months back and try to understand if you have improved or not. And you can use this by using a simple strategy like recording audios of you talking in English. Record an audio every single month this year, and then in the end of the year, you can review or re-listen, if I can say that way. You can basically listen again that audio and you can notice how much you have improved. You need to compare yourself to your past self. Unfortunately, we are human beings. We are sinful persons and we need to try to control our thoughts every single day. When you listen to English podcasts while solving complex problems at work or reading a book in Portuguese, this is a big mistake because your brain can't focus in two things at the same time. This is not right. You end the day exhausted because you think that you immersed yourself in English, but that's not true. If someone asks you a word that you just heard, you won't remember because you were trying to use your focus in two things at the same time. And when that happens, you think that you don't have the talent to learn the language, but that's not it. This strategy is wrong. You're doing the wrong thing. The solution is hyper-focused attention. 15 minutes of full focus are worth more than 4 hours of background noise. The brain needs processing space to register new sounds. There's also a mistake that is studying only when you feel comfortable or the things that you really love. I always say this in my videos. I always say that you need to use content that you enjoy, but that's not enough, you know? You need to also actively study, and sometimes this is not comfortable for us. Sometimes someone likes to read in English, but that's it. The person only focus on reading, but that's not enough. You need to focus in the other areas. If you hate writing, you need to focus in this area. You need to try to write because this will make you learn. And I'm saying this to myself because I hate writing English. It's so hard to me. But I always try to do this at least once a week. When you skip the part that is hard, this is a problem because it creates an imbalance. You understand most of the things, but you can't put this out in the world. So you start noticing the gaps between the different areas of your English. And this causes frustration. That's why you are always thinking about giving up of English, because you feel that you are wasting your time, that you are not learning. The solution is dedicating the first 10 minutes of your study session to the skill you avoid the most. When you beat the hardest part first, everything that you study later on will be easy, honestly. There's a big mistake that is studying generic vocabulary lists. So you learn all the zoo animals, even though you don't use those words even in Portuguese, that is your native language. And when you do this, your brain discards the information that it thinks it isn't useful. You basically study, and then you notice that you're not keeping anything in your head. You forget everything because it isn't useful. Your English should revolve around you. If you're a cook, learn kitchen vocabulary first. If you love soccer, learn that. Study what you're going to use tomorrow. When you use English to talk about something you enjoy, learning becomes pleasure, not a chore. Well, these are the 5 habits that are probably getting in your way to learn English. So I hope that you can try to change something, try to put these things aside so you can finally learn. Thank you so much for watching this video. I see you in the next one, and remember, you are loved. Bye!